welcome back to another video. Today we're going to tell you how to get 600 wheel horsepower out of your S55 motor for around $2,000. Hey guys, so if you already have a M4, if you like the little coupe style, or if you like them big, old, fat, Kim Kardashian, thicky boy hips on the M3 for 4 doors for your children, or if you want the old soul's tiny, probably the most perfectly balanced chassis ever that I can think of, because I love it so much, of like having 400 and some wheel horsepower in such a small little compact car, the M2 competition. Or if you don't own any of those, maybe you're planning on buying one. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a big old thumbs up. And the reason why I'm coming back to you guys with another video like this is because you guys responded well to getting 500 horsepower out of your M54 for less than $1,500. I'm coming back to you with the S55. That video for the M54 also is around 80,000 views on that, and it tends to do well. So I'm going to give you guys what you want.
Give me what I want!
So after you're done watching this video, make sure you go down to the description below and watch my M54 video and also the B58. So anyways, going into the S55 content, S55, finally something that BMW made that people started liking, because people did not like the M55. M54 was such a great motor, everyone loved it so much. Then M55 came, everyone did not like it because it was weaker and everything, less horsepower, all that. It's very controversial. I mean, not really, just M55 guys are really butthurt about it, okay? Even though M55 was more reliable. So they took the M54 and the M55, took all those good things from both sides, combined them, made a beautiful baby, and made the S55 motor. Twin scroll, twin turbos, and a inline 6 3-liter. It works mint, it's beautiful, all those great things besides crank hub. So let's knock this down into some steps. Step 1 to get 600 wheel horsepower is going to be a tune. So just a tune on this alone can get you up to around 500 wheel horsepower. That's right, I said freaking 500 wheel horsepower on just a tune from this car. And that is hardly touching the potential of the S55 motor. So since we said tune, I'll give you some options. We got JB4, which is the first and foremost thing I'm going to say about JB4. It is nice, it works, it's easy to use, it's in Android and Apple based platforms. If you want to use the Bluetooth Connect kit, it's really nice and really simple to use. So that's the first one I'm going to recommend. So I'll tell you a little bit about JB4. JB4, you can change your boost settings on the fly with your steering wheel buttons, or you can use your iPhone, like I said, with the JB4 Connect kit. Also, with the JB4, you have free data logging as well, and you don't even have to buy that option. It already comes all in a nice little package. Also with the JB4, I would recommend a Backend Flash. Berger Motorsports, the company that owns JB4, makes a Backend Flash for this tune. Me personally, I would recommend the MHD Backend Flash for JB4. The JB4 is going to run you around $600, and if you want the Bluetooth adapter, that's also $140. And if you want the MHD Backend Flash on that, it's going to run you around $250. But the MHD Backend Flash also offers a bunch of different maps, also offers different ethanol blends that you can use as well. If you have JB4 plus MHD Backend Flash, there's a mosquito right on the camera. Get out of here. By the way, we're broadcasting from the trailer. But with a JB4 and MHD Backend Flash, depending on what ethanol content you want to run, you're going to see from at least 120 wheel horsepower to 200 wheel horsepower gain. But there's also different ways of tuning. If you don't want to use a piggyback tune like the JB4, you can just use standalone MHD. So with MHD, it is a flash tune, so it's going to flash your ECU for you instead of just piggybacking the ECU. The first thing you're going to buy with MHD is going to be your license. Your license for MHD is going to cost you around $250. Now with MHD, you can buy 4 different tunes from them, but each tune is going to be costing you around $100. So I'm going to list those tunes for you right now. So stage 1 is going to be around 530 wheel horsepower, stock car, no intake, nothing, just freaking tune it, 530 wheel horsepower. ridiculous. Next up, we got Stage 2. Stage 2 is going to get you around 560 wheel horsepower, and they're going to also recommend some different stuff to support that. They're going to recommend their tune, intake, and a downpipe for that. But we're getting into that situation here shortly, just stay with me. Another map from them is Stage 2 Plus, and that is going to get you around 575 wheel horsepower, and that is a full bolt-on recommendation. They also have E30 Plus maps, so multiple ethanol content maps as well, and that can get you up to 600 wheel horsepower with full bolt-on, with adding ethanol content into the mix. Alright, now that we got all the tuning out of the way, that was the biggest section because there's a lot of options, and I only went over 2 tunes. So you can do some more research on that if you want, but I'm here to keep you guys entertained. Are you not entertained? So that means we're gonna get on to number 2. Also, if you haven't noticed, I am starting to get a little bit greasy because I am broadcasting from the trailer. It's humid in here, we don't got AC, it's freaking 90 degrees outside, but I'm doing it for you guys because it kind of has better sound deadening in here. It's small little box, and if you haven't seen this trailer on the inside, go watch my last video. Actually, we went on a camping trip. Anyways, number 2, intake. The stock intake on the S55 motor is very good, it is very efficient, so you're probably not going to see much horsepower gains with an aftermarket one. It's going to be giving you around 10 to 15 wheel horsepower at most. When you're on your way to 600 wheel horsepower, trying to get every little bit as you can out of these stock turbos, every little bit is worth it. But the main reason why I would even recommend an intake for the S55 motor is just the sound alone, because it sounds pretty sick. Even though the exhaust sounds like a vacuum cleaner. I would say just do this just for the sound alone. It also helps take in more air into your turbos, and I would recommend the Burger Motorsports intake as well because it is the cheapest option out there. These are going to run you around $200. Speaking of the sound of the S55, we are going to move on to step number 3, and that is going to be downpipes. So catless downpipes are pretty much good for any turbocharged car, no different for the S55 motor. Also on that motor, the downpipes that are stock are pretty restrictive. So you want to get all those cats out of there. Also, in addition to getting more flow out of your turbos, that means your turbos spool more and get more power, more torque, more everything, more sound. Freaking, it makes your vacuum cleaner sound even better, like a broken Dyson, just like, it's freaking awesome, okay? But if you're worried about it being too loud with the catless downpipes, stop freaking worrying because it's not even that much louder, okay? It's not that much louder. You might wake up your neighbors a little bit more in the morning because it will have that deep rumble from the cold start. It's freaking awesome, okay? But it's not going to be overwhelmingly loud. It's not going to drone on the highway. It's going to be a slight little bit louder, but it's definitely going to be deeper sounding, so it's going to sound better, okay? And if you're worried about emissions, sucks to suck, my dude. But the catless downpipes I'm going to recommend are the VRSF ones. They're going to run you about $500-ish, and the horsepower gains you're going to see from this is about 20 to 25 wheel horsepower. We are on to step number 4, and that is going to be E85. So all the tunes that I mentioned are compatible with E85 blends. Also, you can do full E85 with the MHD Backend Flash or MHD standalone tune. But if you want that full 600 wheel freaking horsepower, you're going to have to use full E85. Don't worry, stock fuel system should be okay. But not only do you get more power from E85, the reason why that happens is because it runs cooler, and it also has less chance of pre-detonation and knock. The horsepower gains from this will vary because it depends on what ethanol content you're going to be using into your car. So if you're going to be going full E, you'll see around 50 wheel horsepower gain, and if you're going to do like E20, you'll probably see around like a 10 wheel horsepower gain. But that's pretty much all you're going to need to make it around that 600 wheel horsepower mark. But that's probably not going to last long, because you're going to have to do a little bit of maintenance, and I'm going to tell you guys what to do, because remember, you're going to be adding about 200 wheel horsepower more to your car, okay? So you're going to have to do a little bit of preventative-ish maintenance. So I'll give this another step into it. It's going to be step number 5, and that's going to be a 1-step colder spark plugs. These are going to be the same spark plugs you're going to use in the N54 if you want 2 steps colder for your N54, which you probably need single turbo. Anyways, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the S55 right now, okay? Anyways, those are going to be running around $130. By the way, I'll have the links to everything that I mentioned down in the description below. And also, what motor would you guys like me to do next? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, step number 6, probably the most frustrating and horrible thing about the S55 motor is the crank hub. So remember earlier in the video when I talked about the N55 and how everybody hated it because there was like so many things that would fail on it?
Know your place, trash.
One of the things that they did take from the M55 was the crank hub. And the crank hub, with all this power, people were starting to spin them with a completely stock S55 motor. But there's also people that have even gotten to the 600 wheel horsepower mark without spinning it as well. So it's kind of like you have a pretty bad chance of it happening, but I would do it just in case. Just in case it spins and then completely destroys my whole motor and bend valves and things break in there, and it's not a good time, okay? So I'm saying if this was me, this would probably be the very first thing I would do. Is crank hub fix, take off that oil pan, take off everything, change it out. I'm sorry, it's a long time consuming process and it's kind of difficult, but it's not that bad. You can probably find some videos on YouTube, or you can also look up forums about it, or you can go take it to your local shop because people don't really work on M cars by themselves. But if it was me, I would do it by myself and I would do a video about it. So make sure you subscribe so I can hit 1,000 subscribers. We are literally almost there. At the time of me making this video, I'm only about 60 people away. So just make sure you hit that subscribe button and we can hit 1,000 subscribers. I can start getting checks from YouTube, and it won't be much at all, but it will be a speck more of what I can make. Try and make that YouTube money out here, just tossing cash away, giving away cars, all that, you know, that would be sick, right? But probably the cheapest option I can think of is the VTTO crank hub capture, bolt capture, because a lot of the failures that actually happen, most of them is from your crank hub bolt actually backing out. So what this does is push everything in, make sure nothing backs out. But that's probably the cheapest option you can go with $104. But there's a lot of different options that are $1,000+ A lot of them are, they have like 4 little boys that like cling, connect together so nothing will spin, so it's like on there, because the stock one is just like kind of pressed together. And other options is just one full solid piece. So whatever you choose, whatever you feel comfortable with, and whatever amount of money you want to spend. But I'd say get that fixed first. Alright guys, so that's going to be at the end of the video. So make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, and also give this video a big old thumbs up and let me know what you liked about it down in the comments, and also let me know what motor to do next and what other video ideas you want me to do. So I'll see you guys next video.